World of Tank Blitzers and hopefully a few future Momrads. I'm Littlefinger. Today doing a full tank review on the S35 CA, which you can see here in our October Warhammer themed garage. This is a tier 5 tank destroyer. It's on the French line, so let's take a look at that real quick. It's been an interesting road up to this tank. The FTAC and the UE57, both extremely small tanks, fairly difficult to drive. The SAU 40, which was a horrible tank, absolutely hated that, and was kind of concerned about the S35 CA. But I tell you what, this is a super fun tank to drive, and actually one of my favorite TDs at tier 5. So made my way up to the ARL V39, and then obviously the AMX, and on up there with some great frontal armor on those tanks if you've faced any of those in battle yet. So I'm kind of looking forward to grinding my way up this line. As far as the characteristics go, you can see here at shot effectiveness 60 and maneuverability 49. Those are obviously what I like the most about this tank. And you can see here that I am actually running the tier 6 17-pounder gun over the 90mm tier 7 gun. You see here our penetration numbers go down from 171 to 135. Our rate of fire goes down by 5 rounds per minute, but we are getting a little bit more damage on the tier 7 gun. But if you work out the numbers here, the 17-pounder does about 2160 damage per minute, and the 90mm does 1905. So, you know, that's 250 damage you're missing out on with less penetration. So I prefer the faster rate of fire tank here. Now obviously you'll want to quickly get the engine and most importantly the tracks. This gets your traverse speed up to 56.7. This tank really moves well, and I will show you that when we get into battle. Real quick, as far as consumables, this is my standard repair kit, multi-purpose, and adrenaline. Provisions, I'm running a hot coffee, protective kit, and improved fuel. And you can see here only about 18 rounds of APCR. Remember, you can change that to credits. It's 2,400 credits per round versus your 170 for your regular AP. Those numbers there, 128 to 214 of penetration, those are great for tier 5, tier 6. You really don't need anything else. Other than when you know you want a shot to go in for a kill shot, let's say, or something like that, I would switch over to APCR. Equipment, again, this is tier 5. I would not recommend spending spare parts on levels 2 or 3 for this tank, but I did go with the gun rammer to get our rate of fire up to 13.5. I didn't see much need to increase our already good penetration numbers, so that's why I went with the gun rammer. Protected modules, again, this is my preferred choice over enhanced cabin, just because I'm running 2 kits to repair crew damage, whereas this helps protect against transmission and ammo racks, so I think that's more important. And then improved optics, this gets our view range up to 263, which is quite good for a TD at tier 5. So I went with the improved optics. If you do decide to spend some spare parts on here, you know, this is kind of a toss-up. I don't think it's necessary. Your aim time's already pretty good, but I always like the enhanced gun lane drive. You don't really have very good armor, so I guess if you're going to go with either of these, get an additional 30 hit points. It might save you a game here or there, who knows. And then improved control. For a TD, I like to have a good traverse speed, so I would go with the improved control. Get that traverse speed up to 61. Helps keep anybody from getting behind you and doing any circle of death on you as a TD. That's often tough to combat. So higher traverse speed is recommended there. Vertical stabilizer is always good. The enhanced tracks over the toolbox, and the consumable delivery system over high-end consumables. So let's take a look at how this tank here, the bathtub, compares to the other Tier 5 TDs. Alright guys, here is Tank Compare on blitzstars.com. I've got the S35 CA there on the left, Stug PZ SFL 4C, AT2, M10 Wolverine, and T67. Just couldn't fit the SU85 on here, but we'll just go ahead and compare these tanks. If you look at damage per minute, we are without a doubt the top damage per minute there, 2192. The rest of these are all red, meaning that they're worse. So you can see a lot of red in this firepower category. Penetration, only the PZ SFL 4C is better, and it also does 220 alpha damage, whereas we're doing 160, but our rate of fire is 13.7. So we've got a very fast rate of fire. Shell velocity there is 884. You're not going to really notice much of a difference there. It's all around good firepower characteristics. Now, aim time 1.72 is a little bit on the slow side, but I don't really notice it on this tank whatsoever. And the dispersion there at 0.326 is obviously right in the middle, but again, I think the gun handling on this, I tend to play it a little bit closer up than, say, a sniping TD. So one of the nice things about this tank is you've got -9 degrees of gun depression, whereas only the M10 and T67 go up to 10. So you're really not missing out much there. But what I really like about is the aiming arc, 15 degrees left, 29 degrees right. So obviously that's how much you can move your gun without having to relocate the tank, thus resetting camo and your aiming reticle. So that's another reason I think that the handling of the gun is really nice. Speed at 45, again, it's got pretty good mobility. Engine horsepower of 286 with some good terrain resistance right there at just 1. Gives us an effective horsepower per ton of 14.8. So again, you're going to really notice this tank moves quite well. And then just looking down here at these bottom set of statistics, 115% credit coefficient, so it's down there towards the bottom as far as money making ability, and I assume that that's primarily because you've got a 58.4% win rate over the last 90 days based upon the average player's usage. So it does win quite a bit. 243, so we could get that up to 260 with the view range there. Obviously, hull armor 56, 35, 35 on the sides is not great, but I'll show you this in a second, the weak spots on it, and you do actually end up getting quite a few more bounces than you would expect off of this tank. Another reason that I do like it. And the number here at the bottom after the 58.43, look at that average damage, 953. And this is for, just average players over 90 days. So keep that in mind and make that a goal. Average kills 1.2 per game. Make these goals for you to try to exceed every single time out in this tank. So real quick, just wanted to take a look at Armor Inspector here. You can see here with a shooter of a PZ4, you do have a fair amount of red on the side, the rounded portion of the tank, and then also around the gun mantlet there. So you can use that to your advantage, wiggle a little bit, make it more difficult for them to hit that green spots. Obviously, if you are aiming at them and if you're playing against them, then you want to aim for that lower plate where it's all green. So here are the modules on the S35. In yellow is the ammo rack, in orange is the engine, and red is your fuel tank. And you can see your driver and gunner in there as well. But I guess the point being here, and maybe this is more for playing against the S35 or where to protect, make sure you're protecting that back half of this tank on the sides for sure. Okay, enough talk. Let's see how this fast firing, high damage tank does on the battlefield. Falls Creek here. And it looks like the team is going to push left. I kind of like getting up into this spot on the far back in a TD, shoot out that first set of vehicles there, and see if anyone pops around the side of that barn. This is quite a safe distance away. But I've seen that our team has pushed forward. Don't want to be left at the back for the sake of potentially getting flanked. So we'll push around. Looks like they've gone halfway around. So I'm going to use these bushes up here and crest on over, and we'll start getting some shots off. See, that's our quick reload. The aim's quite nice. Kind of just patiently waiting for them to come into view. There's that M4. We'll go ahead and shoot him in the back. Get spotted, so I want to get down quickly, so I rushed that shot and didn't aim it very well. Going to pull down here. Wait about 10 seconds till I'm no longer spotted. And reset our camo and come on back up. There's a BDR. See how nice this reload is. I'm spotted again, so we'll back up. I got spotted by this guy behind me, so we'll get a shot into him, and I'm just going to push forward straight into this rock, making it more difficult for him to hit the front of my tank. Obviously, if he comes around for the side, I'm going to turn with him. Was trying to track him in place there, but you know, I don't know why he pushed forward, because his turret doesn't turn all the way around, and so we will just keep pushing him forward, not letting him back up or get behind us. And our quick reload there lets us finish him off. We get a shot in to the Cromwell before he ram kills us. But you can see here, we quickly pumped out, I believe it was 1,500 damage as bottom tier on this tank. So I'm just going to fast forward it here. These guys are in trouble. So we'll finish off the red and take the W. The Sentinel there is using his nice gun depression and fairly good armor there, getting some shots in. So all around good team. Was good for a level 3 mastery, and one of the things you'll note with my gameplay here is it's really difficult to get a mastery in this tank. There's some very high scores out there. Next game, bottom tier here on Dead Rail. You can see I'm the only tier 5 on our team. So waiting to see which way they go. Looks like they're going to go left. Certainly being bottom tier, I want to stay as far back as possible and try not to get spotted. So up to this bush we come. Looks like we've got some company. And we'll just be patient and hope they start spotting. Sure enough, they come through the middle here. Get a track shot in on him. And you can see there we were able to reload and shoot before he could even pull back. Hellcat's showing us his side. I missed that shot. That wasn't good aiming at all. But we'll get another one into him as he's driving away poorly. And we'll finish him off just before he drops off. Not sure where that one went. So you can see here as bottom tier, I'm playing it extremely cautious. I feel like I've done some good damage, so I'm not too concerned about camping here in the back. You know, I've kind of preached in the past that if you're not doing any damage, then hey, it's time to move on. Our patience pays off, and this ARL comes into view here. Quick reload, and we get the kill. KV sitting all the way on the other side of the map there. Can't quite get a shot in on him. We get that one, luckily. And so now there's just 2 left. So we'll go hunting them down. How about under the railroad? Yes, rail car. Gotta like that. So you can see here we're moving at about 37, 40 kilometers per hour, 44. We'll get up this hill, slows down to in the 20s, but you can see it still moves quite nicely. Now, I did say that I prefer to play this more frontline, more aggressively than a lot of TDs. Not so on the case of being bottom tier. You can obviously get yourself into trouble quite quickly. So since this game's just about over, I'm just going to sit here and get some cap points, and we'll let this game finish out. So, bottom tier, we did 1,158 damage. We did get 3 kills there. And you see, we didn't really have much difficulty even firing from a distance of penetration. So, one of the reasons I really like this gun. Alright, now we can see what this tank can do as top tier. We are on mines, and this is one of the few maps where there's some good TD spots on both sides. So I like to come right into this area and try to get these guys as they are coming up the hill. I rushed that first shot. That was horrible. Missed it, but now we're set up. You can see how nicely the gun can move left to right. I'm trying to keep an eye on the Lux there, because I'm exposed if he comes to that opening. We'll get a shot into the side of Hydrostat as he goes by. I apologize for my voice, guys. I'm fighting a little cold here. So, missed that shot again. Missed that shot. And here he comes. Being a little bit too aggressive. Set him on fire. And now he's coming over. He's given up. And we've been spotted. We're going to trade shots here. Luckily, 135 from the first one and 145 must have been the Lux came around there. So anyway, we see the PZ4 going away, 3-4 going away, and we missed that shot. There's 3 of them down here, and I don't know what I was thinking. I shot that dead tank. Got some targets, so I'm going to drop adrenaline, and then they both drop off. And so I'm going to come back around and see if there was targets here, maybe on that KV1. And we are down 2 tanks. It's not looking good at the moment. Full health, almost KV1 there. Get a nice shot into him. You can see how I'm using the rocks in front of me. I am just about covered up. If he turns to look at me, I can back up quick enough to get away. Now I take a shot. I'm just about reloaded, so I patiently wait. That PZ-34 is there. He's going to come around and finish him off. And I want to get this KV out of there. So we'll take one more shot at him and we'll get him to finish off. And, oh, I missed. He missed. And I had a teammate help take out that T-67. So we are now up a tank. The SU-85 has crested the hill, so let's see if we can't get a shot on him. How's that for luck? We'll get it just as he's backing around the rock. T-14 is going to push up on him and spot him for me. And he's coming around the rock on the other side. Just got a sliver to aim at, and we get it. Kill number 3. So now we got to hunt down this last guy. This was quite a comeback. T-14's up there. Looks like he rams him for the win. So, how did we do that game? 21-38 damage, 3 kills. You know, look at that. Only a level 2. And that's partially because I sat in the back. I didn't do any spotting. I didn't get any of those extra EXP for helping my team. They were helping me, and I was just shooting. So, you can see here with that fast reload, hardly any issues with penetration, even on that KV. This is a fun tank. Okay, here we are on Dead Rail as top tier, and I just wanted to point this game out to show you what you can do with this tank with its fast reload speed and a really bad red team. So anyway, we're going to push around to this nice TD spot, and we're going to be patient and see who shows up. Lux comes in. Way too aggressive. We're going to back down the hill here, stay far away from this bush, use our gun depression, and you can see we are just shooting and shooting and shooting as fast as we can reload. And here comes another one, M3 Lee. Still haven't been spotted, even though we're only 150 meters away. Leo is around the corner here. We're going to push up and take a shot at him. Finally get spotted, but neither one of these guys is looking at us. Leo's going to decide to move on. M4 is still there, so we'll get a shot into him as well. No targets here anymore. And look, here's BDR and M4. I'm going to drop adrenaline here just because I've got 2 targets. That BDR on the move, even if he spots me now. There he goes, he spots me. He is not going to hit me while he's moving. So you can see we got 3 or 4 shots into him. Now it's the M4's turn. And we have basically had a target in our sights every time we have reloaded. Only 3 reds left. We're going to push on in. 2 left. M4 looks like a target here. Sure enough. Finish him off. Kill number 2. There's 1 left. Yeah, let's find out where did he go. Last guy is running, so I'm just going to run into the cap circle here and let our team find him. And I think I'm going to cut it short here just because it gets kind of boring. The timer actually gets up to, I think, 87 seconds before he gets spotted and killed. But we did 2,477 damage in that game, and we were just pumping it out. Their whole team only did 1,858, so we did more than their entire team. 16 shots there, so part of the reason I love this tank. Alright, one last game on Falls Creek here. Platooned up with Tom. And we are going to push right. And so off we go, trying to stay around the outside of the map. Trying to stay undetected for as long as possible. Team is pushed around, so I know no one's on this side, so I can push up the hill quite easily. And now it's time just to wait. They've obviously gone bridge. And you can see here I'm hiding myself behind this rock. And Tom's down there getting spots for me. So missed that on the PZ4 there, but you see what's going to happen here is Tom's going to use his position to spot, and I am going to try to help snipe here. So we're being patient right now. It's early parts of the game. We are 330 meters away and putting shots into a KV with standard AP. That one bounced. So that goes to show you how good this penetration numbers are on this tank. Even into the side with it angled slightly. Still getting shots in there. We'll finish him off now. Tom's pushed up a little bit too hard. Really, he should have just been a little bit more cautious and kept those guys spotted for us. But we've dashed out some damage. We've got 2 kills already. And now we're not going to get any more spots on that side, so I'm going to push around and be a little bit more aggressive now. So you can see here, pretty good mobility. Our M7 there is getting himself into some trouble. Want to get around the outside here and try to help these guys out if I can. Figured these guys would be pushing hard there, so we get that Leo. And now that T-34 has found himself in trouble. Clock is up to 47. We've got a guy sitting in base, obviously, and they've got 3 of their 4 guys right around the corner here. There's the Leo. We'll finish him off. Kill number 3. Oh, there's the 4th one. And I'm backing up, hoping to reload, and sure enough, there's kill number 5. And that's the nice thing about this tank and that reload speed. If that had been a longer reload, he probably would have finished me off there. We get one more shot in, but not the kill. And you can see 1,548 damage, 5 kills, level 2. Just an all-around fun tank to play. So hopefully you guys have learned something on how to play this tank a little bit better. Got yourself some experience here and some knowledge. And remember, guys, have fun out there. Stay safe. It's just a game. And always remember, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.